welcome everyone to a new episode of Media Coffee, where we interview journalists from leading media organizations globally to answer some of your top questions on how to best communicate with the media. My name is Nariman. I'm a media relations executive here at Cision. And if you haven't heard about Cision before, Cision is a global provider of earned media software and services for PR agencies and comms professionals. If you would like to know more about us, please visit our website, drop us an email, or follow us on social media. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And I would like to start by asking you, if possible, to introduce yourself and just let us know a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity to speak to the wider audience of your subscribers and others. I'm Sree Bhat. I am the editor of TradeArabia, which is one of the largest online business news portals in the Middle East. We cover mainly the Gulf markets for the people who are interested in this region. TradeArabia was established about 20 years back, and over the years, it has become one of the leading online publications in the region. And we also support our other magazines within the group.
So can you tell me a little bit about the media landscape in Bahrain?
Bahrain has is a small country, as you know. We have during the last decade or so, we have there are so many new publications have come up, but we in the printing side we have in English language 2 main newspapers. Ours is the biggest English newspaper. It's Gulf Daily News, and we are part of that group. Online business news publication, we are the oldest in the region, I would say, and there are some others have also come up now, and also some are in the Arabic language as well.
What is the attitude around press releases when it comes to journalists in Bahrain and the Gulf countries in general?
Attitude is, in a sense, we welcome press releases, because these days that is one of the main sources of news. And many business news, especially companies, rely on agencies to reach to the journalists and through them the wider audience. So there is no way we can say that we don't need press releases, but that is one of the main sources of information at the moment for journalists. But of course, journalists need to go beyond press releases many times. So sometimes it's not forthcoming from the companies, but we need to push. Yeah.
How many press releases do you usually receive per day?
That's a flood. It's not just numbers. It's actually, it may be more than 200, 300 press releases. Some are not, some may be repetitions, some may be we doesn't serve our audience, but we receive a lot. Yeah.
Do you have anyone scanning all incoming press releases, or how do you choose between them?
The editors have to choose which is relevant to them, which is needed, which is to be published, and which needs to be worked on. So editors will choose them. For TradeArabia, I and my colleagues choose them. And basically, mostly I choose them, because it comes to my mail and then goes to other people.
Just a follow-up question. What's the criteria when it comes to choosing press releases? How do you choose them?
How do we choose them? So first of all, the press release, is it relevant to our publications? For example, TradeArabia. We don't deal with the sports news much. So if we get a sport related news, then we will see whether it is important for the readers, our readers. So that is something, and equally whether it is company news or whether it is business news in general or economy related news. So we will first see whether it is relevant to the our readers. So local news always gets preference, and yeah, we are business news, so we try to we don't political news or such stuff is not our forte. Yeah.
And when it comes to press releases, where do you source them from? So where do you get your press releases from? Is it from distribution companies or from PR agencies or from the companies directly?
Well, from all these three sources which you have mentioned. So distribution companies are not many though. I think only one or two distribution companies are there. And the rest are from the PR agencies and the companies themselves. Many of the local companies tend to provide press releases by themselves rather than agencies. But these days, more companies depend on PR agencies. Yeah.
I'm interested to know, did you notice any drop in the amount of press releases you receive now versus before COVID?
I don't see. There was during COVID. There was for some days, some maybe months. I would say there were less number of, especially in the 2020 and first few months of the 2021. The press releases. There was a decline in the number of press releases, but these days it is not so. It is. I think it's much more than the 2019 number of press releases which used to get in 2019. These days it's much more than that. Yeah.
I wanted to know from your own point of view, what do you think about press releases when it comes to the format, the length? What do you prefer?
I would prefer the press releases to be either in text or Word format. Many people send it in PDF, which becomes sometimes difficult to manage. I'm not a technical person, so I don't know how it happens. Also, we need the preferred length for us is about 600 to 800 words for a news story, and analytical articles we would take up to 1,200 words, depending on the subject. So it always it's not news stories. The length it need not be too much, but analytical stories we don't mind if it is little more than the normal size.
And what about language? Because obviously with English, do you prefer to receive British English or American English?
Yeah, we are British, so
British.
Yeah, we are British English. But these days things are changing. Many things are changing, like many words. Though our publication is British, many people here the press releases tend to be in little Americanized English, like the words and all, like they use the American spelling, not Americanized American English, but some of the words they use are the American spellings they use. But we need to change it to our style as far as possible.
So from your own experience working in journalism for a long time, how do you verify the accuracy of press releases?
Yeah, that's a very important question. The basic thing is there's something called nose for news in journalism. So when we see an article, an experienced journalist will find out the loopholes in an article, and he can to a large extent say that at least he will get a doubt whether this is genuine one or not. So when there is a doubt, we have to check it out. The other thing is, many a time these articles, these PRs may have come from a private emails, not from the company ones. So that's also something which we have to be wary of. Also, the language used, the topics covered, and with so many years of publishing, what happens is almost most of the PR agencies we are familiar. If say a new entrant is there, then we will know he or she will introduce themselves to us, and we will know also the companies. Actually, there was a similar situation a few days back, and where actually in the last 20 years, this is the first such situation we faced, and we had an email which came from a very similar email ID of a company's ID. So we did publish it, but then we were asked to, then we realized that it is not the correct one. We had to take it out. Yeah.
How do we follow up with journalists after sending our press release? So from your own perspective and opinion, what's the best way companies can follow up with journalists in Bahrain?
An email, and if we still don't respond, then we don't mind receiving calls. Yeah, emails and calls. WhatsApp also is okay. Yeah, you can a gentle reminder is always okay, no problem. But yeah, if we are unable to publish, there may be a reason for that. So
that's interesting that you said they can contact you through WhatsApp. Is that common practice?
There are some. It is not at the main what you call channel of contact, but many of the, see, what happens is many of the PR people are friends with us after having worked in this business for the last so many years. Many of them are friends, or they tend to contact through WhatsApp also. So it's okay. Anybody can contact through WhatsApp also. This is becoming a business channel as well.
Sure. In terms of, again, you've been working for a long time, as you mentioned, as a journalist. What are the common mistakes that you see companies make when they send the press release?
Common mistakes when companies communicate. Okay. These days, companies are really media savvy. In the PR agencies, they have people who have worked in newspapers or news magazines, and so they are much more aware of what is required in a newspaper or in a portal or news organization. However, there's some things which I would mention is that don't bombard editors with your PRs. Like, there are companies which send PRs almost every day. So it is hard for anybody. Sometimes I feel we have to do a newsletter for them only, in the sense, that kind of situation. Another thing which is very important is the statistics and the facts and figures. In many PRs, we see that, for example, a PR says that the company has made some big profits this year, but they don't give figures. This is not. This doesn't augur well with the readers. We need to give those figures. So we try to get them. We have to call them again, and still, sometimes they don't. They are reluctant to give those figures. So tell the companies to come forward with the figures which could strengthen those articles. So, and the length of the articles also is another point. For example, we will have many articles, especially automotive, cars related, or watches and all these things, very lengthy articles, and maybe many of the editors are not experts in certain field. We can't be experts of every field. So it's difficult for us to know where we have to cut those articles or how to reduce those articles to fit into our this one. So it's essential that the important things come first and then the details. So if you are targeting a automotive magazine or portal, but a general portal, but who has a general reader, so you need to cater to that in a different way than what you will do to the what you call car motoring magazine or something.
Interesting to know. I wanted to ask as well, like when it comes to companies that wants to communicate in Bahrain, what would you say is the unique thing? What would you say is the unique thing about journalists in Bahrain that companies need to be aware of?
The article should focus on the local, how it caters, how the story is relevant to Bahrain or to the readers in Bahrain. So, for example, Microsoft or companies like that do a story, how it impacts on Bahrain, how it will help Bahrain. So, or how it will create jobs in Bahrain, how it will help the companies in Bahrain. That's important. So that should be focused when it comes to Bahrain. Localization of the global article, yeah.
And there is a question that I actually wanted to ask you earlier. I didn't. What do you think is, or actually, is there a best time, day to send a press release to journalists?
I think the morning hours are the best, because see, every portal these days sends out newsletters. Maybe they send 2-3 newsletters a day to their readers. So first thing in the morning they will send, maybe they will send one in the afternoon, and they might send one in the evening. But afternoon, for us, the afternoon one is the most important thing. So it will have all the latest news. So we would welcome mostly press releases in the morning, and of course we don't have any such time thing, because we work almost 8 to 8 almost 12-14 hours a day. So it's
thank you so much. This is the end of our interview. I really appreciate your time, and appreciate you having spending time with us, basically answering our questions. And I just want to tell our viewers again, if you would like to know more about Cision, please visit our website, and you can follow us as well on social media or drop us an email. If you have any questions or feedback about our episodes, please feel free to contact us as well. Thank you so much.